Okay, let's go.
Four-legged turkey.
I would love to listen to a Bella podcast.
Hey, give me a papa.
And I feel like God has brought me across many paths of people who have lived through things that are like literally demonic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a see. Look, I'm going to do the Drew Barrymore. I first learned you're from New York. I didn't know that.
Yes, I am.
Tell me.
I'm one of 6 kids. I was born here in Boca, actually, and then moved to Jacksonville, Florida, then to Long Island,
Whoa.
where my whole family's up from New York. And then we moved back here probably 8 years ago up to Ponte Vedra. And
Wow.
one of 6 kids. I have 4 brothers and 1 sister.
Dude, that is so crazy. Really? Is it from the same mom and dad or step? You have step?
No, we're
From the same. People always ask me that question.
yeah, my older 2 siblings have a different dad than me, but me and then the younger 4 are
Right, but your mom, like they're all
my mom. Yeah.
Wow, dude,
Yeah.
that is so cool. Yeah, me too. Do you think like that? Wait, where do you fall in the lineup?
3rd.
You got a good spot though.
3rd.
You got a third. I'm number 5, so kind of like the same thing. Where's Bella? Like, don't know. What was your childhood like?
I feel like it was pretty simple in a way. I think growing up, me and my siblings were all best friends, and to this day, I mean, we still all are. My mom's incredible. She's also, I think, each of our best friends.
I wanted to meet her so bad. I
Yeah,
know,
she's awesome.
She seems cool.
But yeah, I mean, growing up, we were all involved with different things. I was very involved with sports really young, and now I get to watch my brothers all get involved with sports, and I think that's awesome. But
That's really cool.
we're all like relatively close in age.
Okay, yeah. What is the age difference between?
My sister she's turning 27 this year. My brother is turning 25. I'm 18, and then 17, 15, and 13.
You have a 13-year-old
Yeah, 7th grade
boy or
brother. Yeah, I have the oldest is my sister, and then the rest are boys.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Not that it matters, but just so you know, I'm like, I get it. It goes, mine is Ashley, she's the oldest. She's like 39, 40.
Mm-hmm.
The youngest, my baby sister, lives in Oakland Park. She just turned 24.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, my mom was like, pop, 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 pop them right
all
up.
like super close in age, but then that oldest and the youngest gap is
Isn't that interesting?
pretty broad, yeah.
So the number 2 and number 4, what's the age difference with you?
I'm 6 years to my older brother, and then a year and a half to my younger brother.
Dude, same here except swapped.
Yeah.
I'm 6 years older than my little sister and my brother. We're actually Irish twins.
Oh, really?
Never heard of that?
Yeah, were you born like within the same year?
My mom's always like, we use the same diapers. I'm like, well, good. I'm glad it was financially. It was good. All right, cool. Did you have any pets? I just need to know.
A ton.
So
So many.
Can you tell me?
I
It's
have
a big family thing too. I feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Add more chaos.
Oh, my mom just loves it.
So
It's
does
like
mine.
a
She's
collection.
My
She loves
mom is
them.
a vet, or a ghetto vet. But tell me, what kind of animals?
We have 4 dogs, 2 boxers, 2 French bulldogs. We have 3 cats now. 2 of the cats are new additions. A bunch of chickens. We have 2 snakes.
That's the one thing I've never had.
They're not mine. They're definitely my
Do
brother's.
you like
But
them?
I don't mind them.
You don't? Okay.
I don't have to interact with them
Right,
every day,
right.
but I'll hold them every once in a while.
You're just tolerating it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just so many animals.
Dude, that is so
Yeah.
same here.
Mhm.
Always had, not only do we have dogs and chickens, we had 60-something turkeys. For what? No idea.
I sent my mom a TikTok earlier of someone raising chicks in like a bathtub, and
Yeah.
and then my mom was like, "Oh, I was at Tractor Supply the other day, and I thought about getting more."
Dude, I swear we live parallel lives. I was just home in Massachusetts. My mother came home from the Tractor Supply up there.
Mhm.
She literally had a dozen baby chicks. She's like, they weren't taking care of them right. I'm like, we already have like 1 billion. Okay. So do you think that, I just need to know your thoughts on one thing. Like, do you think animals go to heaven?
I would love to hope so.
Me too. Okay. Cool.
Definitely.
Good. No, that's how I kind of read people. People who are like, now, I'm like, all right, high school softball. I just want to talk about that really quick. You were good. You're good.
Thanks.
Still a player.
Thanks.
What position?
I played first and third in high school.
Yeah, I could see you as a first baseman. Did you like one or the other?
Early on in high school, I played third a lot more, and then I got a concussion my sophomore year, and that took me out. I had the post-concussive syndrome, so that took me out for like a year, and then after that,
Did you get drilled? Like,
we were at practice, and one of my teammates ran into me.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Dude, yeah, that's common. That is very common. Yeah. Jeez. And did you play summer ball?
I did. I played travel ball from when I moved here in 5th grade up until that concussion. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. I hopped in on like so late in the softball game. I was a soccer player, like really good at soccer, but the irony is
then you play college softball. Yeah.
And I chose it because I thought it'd be less harm on my body. Like, that's hysterical.
It's the irony.
Yeah, it is. All right. I just want to dive into it. What happened June 3rd?
So June 3rd, 2023. Yeah, coming up on 2 years.
Dude, that's like not even far away ago.
Yeah. It's been the longest, but also shortest and fastest year and some months of my life.
So how did you sustain your injury?
So I had friends in town who I actually played travel ball with, and we had gone out to watch the Women's College World Series.
Those are the best friends, aren't they?
Yeah.
The travel ball friends.
Yeah, definitely. Lives 2 hours away, but we'll come and hang out for a weekend.
100% Sarah Harriman. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so we went to Mr. Chubby's Wings to watch the Oklahoma and Tennessee game.
Okay, because they were playing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the girl that was actually pitching that game just broke the
lady
record.
Balls?
Yeah.
That was gonna be one of my questions too. How funny is that? Whoa.
Yeah, she was the one that was actually pitching that game. Because I remember I took a video on my Snapchat and I was like, this girl is throwing really hard.
Dude, that is so cool though.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Incredible for her.
No,
but,
right?
Yeah.
It's like equivalent to like 111 mile per hour fastball, dude.
And the guy who I think has that record for college also played for Tennessee.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez, what are they feeding them? Anyways, keep going.
Yeah, so we watched the game, and at that point I had been being stalked by my ex-boyfriend. So eventually he was there, we paid our check, got up to leave, and then I was then attacked and stabbed in the parking lot 17 times. My mom came and tried to pull him off with me, and then she ended up also getting stabbed. And then Kennedy Armstrong was pulling into the parking lot, total stranger at the time, ran, and then knocked him off with me. So, yeah.
Okay. So now, first question is, you were aware that this kid was stalking you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, at that point, yes.
I mean, obviously, and you're how old at the time?
I was 17 at the time.
So, like...
But I had just turned 17, like, less than a month
regardless,
prior.
you're, like, a baby, pretty much. And, like, obviously, nobody can see that coming at all.
No, definitely not.
Jeez. And that's honestly, dude, like, I want to also know, like, I listened to everything, dude. I was like, oh my gosh, your mind. You are so, like, you have remained, dude, the word that pops up, this is like one of the biggest words I've ever said in my life, stoic. I've never used that word before, but when I listen to you and watch you and how you carry yourself.
Thank you.
Dude, stoic.
Thank you.
Now, my question is, you know, anybody can look up her story. Like, we're not going to talk about, the details and stuff. Look it up. Now, how you have carried yourself, my question to you is, and I worded it to you like, I literally go to Starbucks and I'm in the line and there are people flipping out, like flipping out. And, me knowing just a sliver of like, something you went through of just like, yo, like, chill out. I want to know selfishly for myself, like, how have you remained that composure? Like, what has factored into you just being able to, especially having to stay silent, like, before the trial and stuff. And just tell me about if there's anything you can share about.
I think part of it is just how I am, but I think I feel like I've always been a very like logical thinker. So I think a lot of things happen, and once you sit there and you think about it, and then the way that I think about a lot of things is, okay, you just have to get through that. You just have to get through that. And then I also think a lot of the times acting out of emotion or doing stuff like that isn't necessarily helpful to you. So I think being calm in the chaos is very important in a lot of situations. And I think even on June 3rd, when everything happened, I was, and to some extent, even though internally I might have been,
of course,
totally freaking out.
Yeah.
I think being calm was part of what saved me.
I think it's
obviously like adrenaline's an incredible thing. The whole fight or flight, it was definitely a fight in that moment, even though there was not much that I could do.
Not close your eyes.
Not close my eyes, exactly. It was just sitting there thinking, like, obviously a lot of it was out of fear, thinking, if I close my eyes, I might not ever open them again.
Right.
But also sitting there and screaming and crying and freaking out wasn't necessarily going to help me in that moment.
Yeah, dude. And that's something that, and do you find that, okay, so let me back up a little bit though, because you said it's like kind of who I am. Okay, let's control what we can control.
Yeah.
Me? Dude. I'm like, who's hungry? Like, it's ridiculous. So what I want to ask you is before this happened, did you want to pursue something? Did you see yourself doing something like career-wise, like whatever? And how has that changed, if any, now?
Growing up from a very early age, I always wanted to go into occupational therapy, which is super ironic.
That is so ironic.
Super ironic.
Wow.
I think now that's definitely not where I'm heading.
You're like, I've had enough of that. Yeah.
Love every single OT I've ever had, but it's just, I can't.
Smell too, like hand sanitizer. It makes you think of therapy sometimes. Yeah. Okay, so what is that? Has it directed you, or are you still like, I'm figuring it out?
I'm figuring it out.
For you.
I wish I had a better idea, but I have time to figure it out. I think part of the OT, everything that I've always wanted to do is help people. And I think this is definitely given me some sort of platform to help people regardless career-wise. But for right now, I'm just figuring it out career-wise and school-wise, but I'm also able to still use my voice and my platform to do speak and share and 100%. Do everything that I can in this realm of life.
100%. I just need to tell you, this is like my ADD thought. Like the second I heard you speak, just on your Instagram, I'm like, why does this girl like seem like she's in law enforcement?
That's also a career path that I've thought of.
Like I'm just telling you, if you ever want to take anything from what I'm saying, like you would make a really great, like in that field of work.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Our local sheriff's office is incredible also, so.
Really?
Yeah, I love each and every one of their 1,000+ members. So
you know all of them by name, bro.
Definitely a second family to me to some extent.
Yeah.
So
you have to be built different, and you're built different.
Thank
you know what I mean? Right. So just back to like spinal cord, because obviously I suffered a spinal cord injury coming up on 10 years ago.
That's insane.
Yeah, and the way it happened too, like your nightmare of like you're supposed to strap the person down and just a nightmare scenario. But my question to you is what part of your spinal cord was
T4, T5?
Okay.
So right around
here. In there. Okay, so T4, T5, and spinal cord fluid. Was there swelling? I mean, obviously nothing broke.
My spinal cord was lacerated, so part of my back, I guess, was broken, but that wasn't necessarily the cause of my spinal cord injury.
Lacerated.
Yeah. So pretty much, I mean, obviously, immediately, I was completely paralyzed from here down. Not a feeling, not a movement, nothing. So, I mean, laying on a sidewalk, obviously, I was
like no idea where.
I was aware of what had happened and aware that I was paralyzed to the extent of what it was. Later on, I was told that after my first surgery, I was told that there was a blood clot traveling up my spine.
Oh.
So they would then have to rush me to the second surgery, but which was that spinal stabilization surgery.
Oh, okay. And how many hours elapsed between that first surgery and then finding, because you probably had to get an MRI?
Yeah, the first surgery I think was probably maybe 6 o'clock. I honestly,
so they did good though. Like
I honestly, I have no idea the actual times of it, but then I know I was out of that surgery and out of recovery probably around midnight, which that was the trauma surgery. But then
Right.
the second surgery was probably closer to 4 or 5 in the morning the next morning.
So they took care of you, though.
Yeah,
dude. Because the nightmare stories I hear about some
care
in hospitals, like holy moly. So I find it fascinating that you're like, no, I was fully aware I was paralyzed. So this girl that I met in inpatient rehab, she's one of my homies to this day, Meredith. She got crushed by a piano. They were trying to move a piano. She's an engineer. She's one of the smartest people. She's an EMT herself. She was trying to convince her friends, like, guys, it's not good to move a piano. It's top heavy. And they were like, no, come on. And it was her birthday.
Wow.
She's like, fine. She goes, Bella, I spent 15 minutes logically, like you, logically explaining each reason why moving a piano out of a truck, not
the best idea.
So why I want to tell you this is just, first of all, spinal cord injury community, don't you find it so helpful to hear each other's stories and just
definitely.
So that's why I'm telling you this. She goes, exactly what I thought would happen, except it's an 800-pound piano.
Yeah.
Crushed her, broke her sternum, everything, and she's never ever passed out. She remembers everything, and this is how she handled it. It goes, guys, I am paralyzed. I definitely just broke my back. Don't move me. Literally gave all of them. The friends were like freaking out. What are your thoughts about God? What do you think God even is?
I am a baptized Christian, so definitely religious. Yeah.
So you believe in Jesus?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm so curious to know, what are your thoughts on like forgiveness and in general, and have you got there, or is that a process?
I think forgiveness is a strong word. I don't know if I'm necessarily ready for that kind of conversation. I don't think I'm at that place to forgive.
100%.
But
it's a process, right?
I would hope that maybe one day I can feel that, but as of right now, I don't think I'm ready for that conversation.
So anybody out there that has, their life has literally been flipped upside down and made so difficult every day, the struggles that nobody could even imagine, right? What would be your advice to someone who, isn't stoic and isn't calm, and even you're being able to answer like, yeah, no, not ready for that. What would be your advice to, like, how can that person still not get in their head about it? Like, how are you just able to move forward with grace?
I think things happen and you don't necessarily always have a choice in them, but you do get to choose what you can make out of it. So I think handling yourself however you feel necessary and choosing to be positive or choosing to move forward, it's definitely been helpful for me just to be able to take such a negative thing and try to make something positive out of it.
And you've done that, dude.
Thank you.
Laughter is the best medicine. What do you think about that?
I think that quote couldn't be more than true. I think
give me an example of I have one that I heard you say that I was dying, dude.
Oh, no, that's not public. It's I think I've definitely coped with humor, dark humor, a lot of it.
Always been like that?
Not to this extent.
Really? Okay, that's so interesting to me.
I think laughing and finding positives and making jokes and just trying to obviously remain positive through everything. It not only helps you, but it also helps the people around you, I think. I mean, immediately, it's like my mom walks in bleeding out, and then I tell her she looks like a hot mess.
Dude, that was what I died at.
It's just, like, keeping a sense of, like,
everybody knows
light and happiness that, like, not everyone can obviously handle things and go through it like that, but the way that me and I think a lot of the people around me, obviously, I don't think if I wasn't handling it the way that I am or choosing to handle it so positive, I don't think the people around me would also be as positive. So I think it not only helps myself, but it also helps the people around me. And
that's
dark humor is,
I know, dude.
It makes people incredibly uncomfortable.
My mother came in to my hospital room in New York, picks up my paralyzed right arm and said, stop hitting yourself, stop hitting it. Started whacking me with my own paralyzed hand, and I'm dying laughing, right? The nurse later on gave me a form, and it was like, do you feel safe?
Like, if you need help. if you need help. Once they get used to it,
they all of a sudden can
it's healing.
Yes, dude. Okay, well, first of all, I want you to know, like, I love you because I know how that feels to have to selflessly make those who you love and are looking at you and they don't even know the face they're making. I just want you to know, like, woman to woman, spirit to spirit, like, I respect that so much because I know that some days you just want to, you know, fall victim to your, you know, and it's like, no.
It's definitely not easy. I mean, obviously, I still have my dark days. I still have days that I struggle. I mean, there's struggles every day, but I think harping on those struggles and carrying yourself and letting those struggles, I guess, take over will more negatively affect you than it will positively.
Make it worse. Right. That's something that's why I've heard you say, you know, if you're going through hell, keep going. Why would you want to be in hell? And that's something similar to what I would say in the beginning, especially as I was like, why be miserable in a miserable situation? I always would find myself saying that. Angel players. When I look back at my recovery, Madison, there were angel players, like God sent angel players. Could you tell me about one of them, if there were any, who just impacted you?
I think there's obviously so many. There's more than I could even begin to name. I think everyone between Fire Rescue, the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office, HCA Memorial Hospital, and as well as Brooks Rehab, every one of them at every different stage of my recovery has been some sort of angel player. I think to even pick one is...
Did they ever say, like, a one-liner? Like, have they ever, a moment? I'm just so curious. If you could let me in on one of those moments.
One-liner, if you're going through hell, keep going, was actually told to me by a respiratory therapist at Memorial Hospital who I was only treated by him that one night, but...
It's an angel.
He is.
You like never saw him again.
Incredible. I've gotten to speak to him once since that, but he's obviously I've been online talking about him. He's an older gentleman who became a respiratory therapist after COVID. It was just this calling that he had to him, and then it was the middle of the night, and he was in our room giving me my breathing treatment, telling me how he got to where he was, and then it started to explain that if you're going through hell, keep going, the Winston Churchill quote. And that's how he explained it to me, is why would you want to stay in hell? You keep going so that you get out of it. And I think that in that moment, it clicked, it registered with me. And that was a week after everything happened, maybe not even. So from the very beginning, that was, I guess, instilled in me by him. And I've told him the one time that I did get to talk to him how empowering that was for me, but now how I can also use that to help empower other people. Literally, definitely an angel player, even though I only worked with him that one night, but his one conversation with me has impacted the next however long it's been for me. But
dude, no, and thank you for sharing that, because I really do think so. What, like, me and you want to do in general is kind of like, a lot of people don't know how to be positive or how to. It's because, do you know how many angel players others have had, but they're too in their, you know, in their hole to even realize it. So that's why I like to share kind of like those things to kind of help people be like, oh wait, what am I? Oh yeah, the guy at the bakery. You know what I mean? And so your support system, your community,
incredible.
Did they just rally around you like
100%,
that?
Yeah, 100%.
Aren't people beautiful?
And like, I mean, it wasn't even just like my community, my family, my friends. I received support from all over the world.
Literally, yeah.
All over the world. And there's not like words that I could even begin to say thank you or to give my thanks to each and every one of them. But I really do. I mean, my community immediately rallied around me with fundraisers, shirts, and all these things. But it's a community that I have within my family, my friends, softball community. Everyone is just was so strong for me in that moment, and I think each and every one of them are incredible.
Amazing. Back to softball. Do you think that being not just like a softball player, but you were like good, do you think that the game of softball like has helped you at all in any way in this recovery?
100%.
How do you think?
Yeah, I think growing up as an athlete and being, I guess, trained for a lot of these things to, I guess, withstand like a lot of pressure and a lot of
failure
and stuff like that. I think
Mhm.
that was huge for me, but also already having it instilled in me, like hard work and practice and resilience and all of these things. I think that was 100% like
cool.
key to my success in some way, because
100%.
you have a goal and you're gonna reach it no matter how you're gonna get there. So I think that was definitely incredible.
I love that.
I mean, another huge part of it is how your body is also, because you're in shape, you're like you've trained so long, and not necessarily for this, but now you're set up in a way that will
100%.
benefit you in the end also.
100%. It's like plants. Like if I grow a nice healthy plant and I snap it in half, I'm like, oh no, that'll I just tape it and it's good.
The reason that I'm paralyzed, obviously, it wasn't that blood clot. That's like what they thought was.
Oh, really?
That's what they thought was, I guess, causing like a temporary paralysis. But then once they went in there was when they realized that my spinal cord had been lacerated and there was spinal fluid leaking out of my back. And then that's when I had the laminectomy.
Oh my gosh. So now let's go off of that actually. Prognosis, and I hate that word because it's like, thank you, but you know, what is for your injury, where should you be at / what does it look like?
Obviously, spinal cord injuries are so difficult. There's not, I guess, really,
isn't that exciting,
an end in sight.
I know.
I think I'm a lot further than a lot of people expected me to be. I think there's still a lot further I'm wanting to go and hoping that I will get to, but as a prognosis, I mean, I have an incomplete spinal cord injury, and it is what it is. I'll see where the therapy takes me. I'm still in therapy.
Cool.
So we'll see.
Dude, I want to get you into barless.
I toured that place. They just don't take my insurance. I toured that place last summer.
No way.
I think all of their other programs took my insurance except for their neuro program.
Yeah, no, that's annoying. So where are you rehabbing and stuff now?
In Jacksonville, I'm with Brooks, but here I'm working with. It's actually funny. She was a student at Brooks, and now she works at the SoFlo Neuro Center down here.
Oh, cool! Is that where you?
No, I do private workouts with her.
Good for you. Do you have any other favorite quotes that you think could be a little mantra to people in their head? Like,
I think the few that I always say, that if you're going through hell, keep going, is obviously huge. I have it tattooed on me. I have it on everything. Really? Yeah, it's on my ribs.
I'm gonna tattoo that on me, and I'm gonna send you a picture. I have a tattoo then.
Oh, really?
Dude, I'm like, look at me. Yeah, dude.
Yeah. I think that's huge. I think another one that's been sitting with me is that you don't get to choose what happens to you, but you get to choose what you do afterwards. I think that's something I heard relatively recently, but I mean, it is so true in every way.
And going off of that, if you had a softball team in front of you complaining about practice and all of this stuff, what would you say? What would you say to them?
I've actually spoken to.
You have?
Numerous. Really? I've spoken to the UNF softball team and
beautiful. Dude.
My high school team even.
Yes.
I think just being grateful that you have the ability every day is huge. I mean, obviously, I've been there. I know when practices suck. I know when you're not playing well. I understand all those things, but at the end of the day, you have the ability, and I think you have to be grateful for it every day, because you don't know when will be the last time you get to play. That's the word, grateful. I think more athletes need to start understanding that you should never take one step for granted alone, but on your field. Gosh, that's beautiful. How is your mother doing after her injury? What happened? She's good. She was stabbed in the hand, the leg, and her head.
Jeez.
Yeah. Horrible, obviously. I think we both obviously have our own struggles, and
you guys are made of like steel.
She's a super mom, that's for sure. 6 kids, but that's like she always says that like she's not a hero, she's just a mom, which she says like she would hope that every mom would do the same, but not every person would do the same. So for her to put her life on the line to save mine.
Mhm.
I mean, she is my hero, and
Oh my
I'm so
gosh.
thankful for her. And she's one of the most
I'm like, that gets me emotional.
hardworking, selfless people I've ever
No,
met. So she's awesome.
That's so good to know. Make sure you tell her that I said hello and that I think that she is a godsend to this world.
She is awesome.
The other thing I wanted to ask you is Kennedy. How is he got injured?
Yeah, his hand was hurt. He still has issues with it, but he's also incredible human being. That's forever so thankful for him.
Away
yeah,
from that dude. Oh my gosh,
he's incredible. He's definitely. I mean, I've also said it before. He's who reminds me that there are good people in this world.
Mm-hmm.
Incredibly selfless.
Yeah.
And I mean, he was a stranger at the time,
just pulling in.
And once again, obviously, I don't think he said before that like he didn't realize what exactly was happening, but he just knew that he had to help, and he definitely was picked up by an angel. It's 100%. Incredibly like put right place, right time, and I'm so thankful for him in every way. He's doing good though. He's in EMT school. Gosh, the invisible string theory. It's like,
whoa.
Have you heard of it?
Yes,
before?
I have.
It's obviously he's a few years older than me. We was out of high school by the time I got to high school, but we live right next to each other. We're in the same town.
Wait,
like
what?
Not right next to each other, but in the same town. Like his family owns a restaurant right next to the restaurant that my mom works at. So like just like all the parallels, and like if you think about it, like I could have been walking out of that restaurant 30 seconds later and he could open the door for me. Like, dude, it's like those invisible string theories, but
I'm obsessed with
a year or 2 months before this happened, like 2 months to the date, was my junior year prom. We went to my mom's restaurant that she was working at, and we were taking pictures like in the lawn, and it's on the water. Okay. So we were taking pictures like in the lawn, like on the water, and there's 500 pictures. Everyone used my phone to take pictures. Yeah. There's pictures of me, there's pictures of other people that I was with, and there's one picture, and I think it's so weird, and I realized it like months later, and like why wouldn't I have deleted it? But it's one picture. I'm not smiling, it's just like an accidental take. Right. And he's in the background serving another table, and it's out of the 500 plus pictures in my phone, like he's in the one that's accidentally taken just of me. And it's so strange. And 2 months to the date right before, and like I'll tell you more about it once we're done.
It's so wild.
It's so wild.
But like it also like, and I can tell this about you, you're like, there's a creator God that is so big and so powerful that
placed perfectly right in that moment.
Oh my gosh. No, I have similar things with Allie and the girl who I broke my neck on. Dude, she looks like my sisters. It is so weird. We're both number 3. Yeah. Yeah.
I that whole invisible string theory, I mean, you think how many times like could you be in the same place as someone and just not realize it until it's the right place at the right time?
Exactly.
It's I mean, he's incredible.
And some people don't even see that though. Like there's own, and that's kind of why I want to share more stories like this, so that people who are just miserable, that they can see those things of
we've talked about it before though, because like you just like walk through that day and you walk through how I got there and how he got there, and like he was working all day, he takes a wrong turn, he does this, he does that, and like he like wrote it all out for me, and it's just like wow, like you were in the right spot at the exact right time, and
that's God.
It's
like,
definitely.
Do you believe in God? Do you know?
I believe so.
Yeah,
I can't speak for him, but I believe so.
Yeah. But I'm curious to wow, dude, that is thank you for sharing that. Yeah. That is absolutely amazing. What are you up to now? Where are you going to school? Do you go to school?
I do go to school. Okay. I don't like putting where I go to school online. No, I am full-time college student. I work at an ice cream shop when I'm home.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so cool.
Yeah, I speak, I travel.
Just living. So moving forward, I have a question for you. Yes. Would you ever want to play catch sometime? Not today, but like sometime, because like you're kind of near here, right?
I am.
And I can just come to you and I just want to play catch with
my gloves in my closet.
Okay, good. I just want to know that. The other thing is I wanted to genuinely thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I know that I'm a weirdo, and I am, and like I also was very open with like the things I'm gonna ask you, and like dude, the things I just asked you, like the range of things, and you were just boom, boom, like I just want to give you your flowers on not only are you incredible and God is using you in ways that I can't even explain, the similarities, and I am just very blessed to know you and meet you, and I hope that we can be friends.
Of
And
course,
I
I am so thankful for you. I mean, I've told you, but very early on in my injury, being so lost but looking for something, finding your story was also super helpful for me and super empowering for me, and seeing someone who, obviously we weren't injured in the same way, but someone who had a similar lifestyle as me, playing softball and all these things.
Identity loss.
Yeah, watching how you recovered and then going and looking through your social medias and all of your stories was also super empowering to me and helpful for me. So
that makes
I'm
me
also
happy.
super happy and honored to
Dude,
have finally met you.
Anything else you'd like to say?
I think the fact that like your body has the ability to adapt and to regenerate and find new ways and new pathways, that's incredible. First of all, that your body has even the slightest ability to do that.
Right?
Yeah.
I love you. I really do. I
love
really
you.
do.
This was actually the tattoo that I got.
I want to see it.
The first day I was out of the hospital. And that's the same Bible
that's
verse.
So well done.
The same Bible verse that was put on the back of all the fundraising T-shirts for me. God is within her; she will not fall. God will help her break a day.
Oh, dude, that's beautiful.
Yeah, see that bow-legged turkey?
Okay, let's go.
I would love to listen to a Bella podcast.